Taoism and Feng Shui at the Yellow River, and both of us saw the white horse coming out of the water with the low shoe on his back. By this, he found the formula of duality, of creating harmony. He is the founder of Feng Shui. On his memorial, you can read that he lived in a time where the sons didn't know their fathers, where humans were hunting, and when they were hungry, and then carelessly threw away the leftovers when they were full. With the wisdom of this moment, he opened up a system able to change energy from a disorganized lump of earth into a well-organized crystal, a strong pattern. And today, since 23 years, I use these formulas. These conditions when I design a house seen as a sacred energy cell, and it contains the whole cosmos. Like a Russian doll, the universe in the universe in the universe, and so on. It can also be compared to a female womb. This energy is on the same hand, receiving and giving. This energy is connected. It's communicating. It is like a satellite bowl, like a power bank. Every human is a complete cosmos too. A house is directed in a special way. A human is also directed in a special way. And it has a special pattern. This is our inner compass. When we as architects bring the inner compass of a human into an alignment with the direction of a house, then we create this cosmic trinity of heaven, man, and earth. To figure out the inner compass of a person, we also use a formula that works with the year of birth. And when we bring these formulas into a house, I can see if the energy that surrounds the people is radiantly beautiful, as ascending or heavy, disorganized, and disorientated. This energy rubs off on us, just like the society that surrounds us. My grandmaster, he used to say, the chi of a place is like a human being. It has a character. It is specific. If you are surrounded by loving and compassionate people, you will also be loving and compassionate. But if you are surrounded by people who only think about their own satisfaction, survival, and material things, then you will also have to fight for your survival. More than 1 year after my magical encounter with that puma, I walked the land to talk to Mother Nature. I was by my own on a very remote path in the jungle. There suddenly appeared a little wooden platform with stairs from where you would have a wonderful view over the Golfo Dolce. But the wood was rotten, and in a fraction of a second, I decided never to walk on rotten wood again in my life. So I turned and followed the overgrown path around the next bend. In the next moment, I saw my second puma. It was a young male standing directly in front of me, looking me deep into the eyes. Help us protect the innocent wild. That was what his eyes told me. And that was the moment for me of manifesting the idea to build a rainforest academy for architects and people from the building sector. Feng Shui, Feng is the name for wind and Shui is the name for water. Feng Shui is the secret pattern of wind and water and how wind and water interact and how these forces are able to manifest life on Earth. This concept can be applied to all phenomena on this planet. We can see the work of these forces everywhere if we go out into nature. Imagine a seed seeking, with the support of the wind, a calm and peaceful place where water can gather to put down roots and grow into its destiny. I meditated for over 20 years about the interaction of Feng and Shui, of wind and water. And as I saw so many people growing straight into their destinies, into the direction that is written into their energetically DNA, following their personal inner compass by aligning their houses with the cosmic laws of spirit planning, I felt that this concept is like the crosshairs in a rifle scope through which you can see and focus your own destination in life. And I realized that the concept of wind and water needs to be reactivated and spread by the architect of the future. We need our homes filled with crystal clear energies where humanity can rise. We need architects who understand that the legacy of this beautiful ancient science is the secret in the interplay of yin and yang, described by the physical forces of magnetism and gravity. And in this deep understanding of the Taoist wisdom, the interaction between yin and yang, we find the essence of love. This is the energy that creates everything. Yin and yang in interaction, this is love. There is so much to change. Cities can be healed, homes, hospitals, administrations, offices, factories. Our built environment is a huge energetic machine, and we don't yet know how to operate this machine to spread peace, healing, and love. Because I experienced for over 20 years that every architectonical system has the power for real change. Let's all become modern city aborigines. Let us use the divine forces of nature to realign humans with their surroundings, to reconnect them in such a deep way with nature, with their own pure nature, so they can get conscious about that interaction. They feel that, and they can start their way from consumers to earth lovers by healing their lineages from the need to fill their emptiness, the sad feeling that something is missing, that leads into addictions and overconsumption, back into the inner need to cooperate, to more and more feel the desire to act out of love and compassion as the part of it, as a part of the new world with a healing impact on others. In my Rainforest Academy, with the name Wild Heart Academy, which I'm gonna build right now, I want to teach architects from all over the world about the importance of protecting the wild in our lives. Without the pure energy of innocence, that is the essence of the wild, the human life on our beloved Mother Earth will not survive. But when we create our existing houses, our apartments, offices, according to the cosmic laws of nature, we open up the door for the spirits that to find us. They want to find us. Like the Tibetan monk that came into my office once upon a time. And once our human earth residents found these magical spirits too, that come through the doorway of their homes, designed with principles of love. As we architects, then we architects have brought heaven down to earth. This is my wish for the future of Mother Earth. With gratitude, thank you so much. So, yes, my Rainforest Academy is about to exist, I hope next year. So I already have found an amazing property. And we already did the measurements of the situation where we want to place the houses. And now, if you feel the call to support us, to help building this amazing Rainforest Academy, to build a new world, please get in touch personal with me. And I'm really open and happy for every donation that comes from me. Do you have any questions?
How do we get in touch with you?
I can give you my card, and then.
What about the people you're talking to?
Hmm?
What about the people you're talking to online? Can you give them an email address? Or...
Yes, of course. If you want to get in touch with me, contact me please on my homepage, spiritplanning.com. No, spiritplanning.de. spiritplanning.de. So there is a link to my email address, and then you can directly contact me online. There any more questions?
I want to say thank you so very much for all that you've gone through in order to have this vision of a jungle academy for learning architecture. And the idea of coming into eye-to-eye contact with Jaguar in person, that is astounding for me. I've never had that honor, and I understand that the school was born from one of those moments. Do you feel that there was anything special that you did before you had that meeting that made it happen, that led to it happening?
This is a really interesting question, and let me go into that a little deeper, because it's the magic about it is also about direction, about following my inner compass. So the moment that you go into the wild, you have to. What I did was I wanted to really get very deep into that energy, into that feeling. And when I was flying to Costa Rica, I didn't look on the map which direction it is exactly to measure it with a compass. But later on, I get aware that this is the exact ley line, the exact direction that combines. So these two pumas, these two encounters of the pumas, when you go into the direct direction, you come to my home in Germany. This is so amazing. So I can show you the ley lines of these two encounters, and then you see this is the perfect direction on a degree, exactly direction to my home. And the alignment of my home, the door that I turned, my home is exactly the same direction. So it had to happen. It had to happen. It is written in my DNA. And you know, I discovered a lot of things about going on a safari. It's like you go through life. You have to be at the right place in the right moment. So it's all about time and place. And if time and place fall into an alignment, the magic happens. And this is what happened. I just went with closed eyes, like, you know, not looking, just feeling, and then it happened.
It's
Can you understand? Yeah?
You don't have to know anything.
No, you forget about everything, close your eyes, of course you see where you go, but you just go. You stop thinking. You just trust 100% in nature. And that was when the magic happened. And when this idea that was already born manifested into my life. Because there are many ideas that are born when you're creative. You have many ideas how to heal the world, how to heal people, but not every idea is an idea that leads into a reality. Yes. Any more questions about Feng Shui? About the secrets of magnetism and gravity? So, there came a time when I wanted to go deeper into that physically. So I think we have some physicians here who are interested in science. And I wanted to find out, why does that work, that I can help so many people that have problems with their family harmony or are shortly before getting divorced, and then they come to me and I change things, and then everything falls into harmony. So I wondered, why is this possible with a 6,000-year-old formula? And I discovered that we have these two big forces of magnetism, which is the horizontal force in life, and gravity, which is the vertical force. Water is gravity because it always seeks for the deepest point. And magnetism, this is the direction we go through life, because everything in life has a direction. And when you see magnetism and gravity, you can design like a cross. It's like a cross. And I wanted to know if there were any physicians, quantum physics, who discovered the relationship or the interaction, the interplay between these two forces, magnetism and gravity. But there is no one who examined that already. So if the world would be open, and if the world would need to discover this ancient knowledge into the 21st century and bring it into a scientific future, then there should be somebody who should work on this interaction between these two forces. Because there were scientists who, for example, Newton, he discovered the law of gravity, and he started by, there is an item flowing in a constant speed without changing from A to B. So this is the beginning of his formula. But since I was a very little child, I discovered there is nothing in this universe that's flying in a constant speed without changing from A to B directly. So everything is pulsing, wobbling, and turning and appearing and disappearing. So things change constantly. They become, and they dissolve, and then they become again, and then, so I didn't believe in that idea of to describe scientific energies in a kind of, for me, it was a kind of dead laboratory surrounding. But I'm very interested in, maybe there's somebody out there from the auditorium who is interested in working together with me with, finding the relationship between this old wisdom and the future of quantum physics. So then maybe we find a formula for love. Yes.
Can you give us one example of a family whose interaction or health has changed?
Yes, thank you for asking. Because I don't have a screen to share pictures, and this is why I didn't, but I can try to explain. For example, just comes into my mind a young family. No, it was not a family, it was a young couple. They lived together, but they were not able to have children because of medicine, like disability of the man. So that was something that was clinically tested. And I went to them because the woman was calling me. And I figured out, okay, I started my research on inner compass of these two wonderful people and on the design of the house. And I asked, okay, where is the kitchen? Where is the entrance? Where is the bedroom? So these are the important areas of a house to bring a good, like a crystal pattern of energy. And I found out that the kitchen was in the wrong place. There's something, you know, sometimes it's really a brutality in the truth lying in that. In over 20 years, I was working on that. I always found out that kitchens that are located in the northwest of a house, there are so many miscarriages or women who are not able to get children. And this was the case in that young couple too. And I recommended them to change the kitchen into another room, but you know, it was a rented apartment. So what to do? This is always the challenges we have when we want to make really change. And I said, okay, just buy a small plate to cook on, put it on the right place. And I thought the right place is in the kitchen, in the living room. And try it out for 2 or 3 months. Just try it out and leave the kitchen like a storage room or do something else, but no cooking anymore in that room, because cooking is existence, it's transformative energy, very much transformative fire energy. Yes, and we align it in a really perfect direction with the fire mouth, and then things happened after that. They had a lot of parties in the living room. There were a lot of new life happening because there was so much energy, life energy coming into their apartment. And yes, after half a year, the woman get pregnant. And now they have 2 children, two healthy children without medicine help. So this is really amazing. And these things, I can tell you hundreds of stories. So what you have to do is contact a good Feng Shui master and check your inner compass being in alignment with your front door. Maybe you have to change it a little bit. That's what I did. I tilted my door. I'm also living in a rented apartment. I tilted my door into 35 degrees, and this is exactly the angle where the pumas appeared. And then look at your kitchen. Is your kitchen directed in the right room, in the right area, palace of your house? We say palace, with these 8 palaces, 8 directions, 8 palaces, like a square. And if it is for you in a good direction, it's okay. Then look at the oven. Is the oven located good? Is the fire mouth, the energy where it is situated to bring the energy to the oven, is that good? And then you have to look at the bed, at your bedroom. Where is your bed? Where is your bed facing, your head facing to? This is very important. And if you make a change, only small changes can open up doors where you can walk through into a new dimension. And then the magic happens. And this is what I discovered so many years, in so many thousands of consultations. And of course, I also work with it when I design houses. This is, of course, the queen discipline of my work, to have the possibility to design, to redesign houses. So I only work with existing houses. I never build house from the scratch. So there are already structures all the time. And these structures can be remodeled. So I go into the structure, into the deep. And then, yes, there are families moving in, which I see them growing up very healthy. The coming generation is, so I see so much harmony in these families. This is really, really very, very good to see for me. Yes. Does that answer your question?
What are some like basic cultivating tips in the home, like what are things you can use?
It's always individual, but a basic tip is to keep your house clean, to keep the center of your house free, and to make prayers in the center of your house, to get rid of things that you don't need. Just sort everything out that you don't need very strictly, to make place, to give room for new things to come. This is very, very important. And then make rituals by placing a little altar temporarily in the middle of your house, of the largest room, and pray for your ancestors, for your loving ones, for your children, and bring 3 candles in the middle and 2 ceremonies there. Go on ceremony in the center of your house. Keep everything clean, to keep the spirit of your house very clean, to feed the good spirit of your house with love. And then consult a feng shui master, because the energies are very tricky, the energies of the direction. Because when we work with these energies, we always are in a comfort zone, because we go into the things we know, but the things we know are not necessarily also the things that are good for us. So this is why it's very good to contact a feng shui master.
Thank you so much.
I also want to use the last second to thank my spiritual school to give me so much power to integrate also the shamanic wisdom into architecture. Thank you so much.
So we're gonna have a short recess and we're gonna.
Okay.
In a minute with some tech stuff. So.
Absolutely. I thought I'd sit here and sort of share with our viewers a little bit about the space that we're all inhabiting for these next couple of days. Everyone here, we're sitting here in the shrine room in this very sacred space, this temple. So I think some of the magic that happens, right, is when it's not planned, when it's organic, when it is just sort of that happenstance, it just was meant to be. So we are very grateful that you're all here with us. We are very grateful to all of our sponsors, all of our presenters, especially our staff and our crew of volunteers. We are grateful for all of their dedication, for helping us through all the transitions. It is not perfect, but it is important. So thank you so much for those of you that are staying with us as well. In case you are wondering, we do also have the EarthStock Summit in the virtual reality world, and you're more than welcome to join us there. We are streaming live. I double checked before I say this. We're streaming live on the EarthStock Facebook page. on the Regenerative Media Facebook page, on YouTube, which is the EarthStock platform as well. So this is just sort of a little bit of, housekeeping things for you to get an understanding, those of you that are watching, that perhaps you didn't know about. And perhaps you're interested. If you are interested, we are at Blazing Mountain in Crestone, Colorado. And we are extremely grateful to the staff here for taking such good care of us. Accommodations, the meals, they've been incredible. So we do appreciate everyone tuning in. We've got some amazing presentations that are coming up later on. We have some other films and music. I know that there's music coming up tonight. Let me tell you a little bit about what I'm hosting tomorrow night, August 24th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'll be talking to you all about everything divine, everything Divina, which is, I'm the founder of Divina, a wellness company. I'm the founder of Divina World Foundation, World Music Foundation. So we've been doing a lot of things also to bring together music and artists. Divina World Foundation's primary project right now, there are several, but the one that we're most focused on right now is the Indigenous and World Music Hall of Fame. So we are spreading the word. We are, working with sponsors and raising funds, raising awareness. And what we did, actually, I'll talk a lot more detail tomorrow, but what we did, we hosted our first global Indigenous World Music Talent Search, and I'll be showcasing the winner tomorrow night. So be sure to tune back into that. I think one of the most important things, lessons that I'm getting from being in this environment with everyone is this incredible ability to connect with people who are like-minded and like-hearted. So I hope you continue to tune in and keep watching, keep learning, keep sharing, tell everyone what we're doing here. It's important. I think everyone that you have listened to today, this afternoon, has brought their own unique talent, their own research, their wisdom, and they're spending their time, their afternoon, sharing it with all of us and all of you. So I think we are going to be getting ready soon for our next presenter, and I'll be introducing him in a little bit. As you can tell, I am trying to fill some space, so I've got to think of other things to talk about. But actually, what I can mention is I was able to join for the first time, being in production and being the MC and hosting. I was able to join one of the online conversations this morning with Shannon MacArthur. And it was incredible. It was amazing to meet other people from all over the world, and just what Zoom has done for us as well. One of the things that I also wanted to mention, the other part-time gig that I do is I host Wellness 360 with Carmen Milagro on Expand ITV, and we are also
into the depth of everything. You are celebrated by the moon, by the sun, by the angels and the finned ones, and the two-legged and the four-legged, and the winged ones. You are the lighthouse home for the lost and the scared. Oh, my grandmother ocean, the eternal one, the divine one, the bursting one who carries me on top of the waves of her poetry. I look into the eternity of your sacred, fertile womb, of your birthing and bursting of everything, of your beginning, and the impossible infinity of your never endless love. Grandmother, I see the sacred pouring through your open thighs, your widespread arms, and your delicate, rippling toes. I know your dance, and you know mine. I know your fight, and your flight, and your freedom. I know your whisper, and your calm, and the gentle way you carry me into my own silent wisdom. I know your power and your praise. I know your pirouettes and your reaching. I know your flow and your giggles and your screams and your pause and your purpose and all the abuses you have suffered, and yet you birth the newness of perfection and praise. I know your voice and your secrets and the song that the birds sing upon your breasts every morning. I know your pearls and your bones and your outstretched arms and your abandon. My grandmother ocean, I know your name, your infinite name. I know that you reflect the infinity of all of life. I know your name and you know mine. I feel you and you feel me. I know the smell of your perfume, the salt and the tears of your heavenly embrace, holding the drops of rain and the fragrant dance of me, the flower of me, and every aria you have ever sung, every orchestration you have ever composed, and yet I hear the silence of God when I am near you. Grandmother, I know the taste of your lips and the power of your touch. I know the comfort of your kisses, grandmother, for they have held me together and kept me from drowning in the open waters of my sometimes painful moments when I am tipping at the edges of my own fear. You catch me. Grandmother, I see you. I see your open everything. I see the rainbow hues of the coral you collect and the babies that you birth. I see your open everything, giving yourself away as the intimate immediacy of the grace and miracle of the very presence of life itself. You represent the greatest of all wombs, the waters of all life, the fertility of all that exists. Without you, grandmother, we are nothingness. Without you, these dry bones could not live, for you are the catcher and the divinity of the ancient sacred bones that hold the sorrow of my ancestors. Grandmother, help us to understand the generosity of your infinite. For we are the song that you sing, the mouths that you feed, the catcher of our prayers. As you lift our prayers up into the heavens and dance the dance of divinity into the arms of the Creator, our Father, our Mother. Inside of you, Grandmother, we imagine ourselves looking into our own hearts, bathing and dancing inside of your own. Can you feel us? Can you taste us? Can you save us? Can you hear us when we scream in silence? Can you see me? I know the power and beauty and the explosion of your sadness, of your being forced to cough out and cough up the poison of our disregard. I feel sorrow for what you've had to endure. I know the echo of your sorrow. I have it too. But Grandmother, you belong to everything and everyone, and yet, Grandmother, you are a part of me. You are the ancient wisdom keeper. You hold the dreams and the tears and the blood and the sacred bones and screams and the ancestors' secrets. Grandmother, you hold the wisdom and the dreams of all of humanity. You are the rhythm of the mother's heartbeat and the manifestation of the Father's vision. And inside of you, we dance. Grandmother Ocean, you are the way back home, the divine feminine, the voice of the angels, the cries of the mothers. You are the hope of all people. You are the medicine and the dance, the medicine and the music, the dance and the wonder. Where your body ends is where ours begins. You are the prayer and the medicine and the music, the dance, the dig, the baptism, the ancient and the authentic love, the reflection and image of God. You are the poem that will never be completed, reflecting the dignity of every driving force within the very heart and the very cry of grace. I often ask myself when I stand between your thighs and dig into your body like a desperate child, how do I keep missing all of the angels dancing upon and within your body with their trumpets and fingers and proclamations? Those four-legged ones, those winged ones, those shelled ones, those wooden ones, those rock ones, the mountains that surround and frame you, those angels, those wind angels, desperate to arouse us back to the surface, to the soul and heartbeat of every being. So that we may return to life, so that we may return to freedom, so that we may breathe.
I'll think of something else. I think this might be one of those moments where I'm on camera, but they haven't cued me on. So if that's the case, let's right back. We'll figure it out. Just stay with us. If you can hear me out there, just stay with us. All right, everyone. I think it's that time. I'm just waiting for confirmation that this is actually a real live feed, so just bear with me. And but we will definitely get going with our next presenter. I think you're going to be absolutely just marveling at what he has to share with you. I know I am. I'm very intrigued with pretty much everyone who's spoken and shared with us their wisdom, their knowledge, their innovations, their inventions. But I think this is really special. So I am waiting just to make sure that we are indeed live. And if not, I've just been talking for no reason and nobody's listening, and it's all right. It's just practice. It'd be nice, actually, for those of you that are watching on Facebook and YouTube, if you want to put in the chat where you're tuning in from, that'd be fantastic for us to be able to document where our viewers are coming from. That would be great. So I know I've got some folks in Colombia, some folks in Uruguay and Mexico, as well as Costa Rica and Boston, if I recall. We've got some friends in the Bay Area and San Francisco tuning in, and Southern California. That's all I know of personally. So yeah, it'd be really great. I'm not able to see that just yet, but we'll take a look. Let us know where you're watching us from, and tell us who your favorites, your favorite presenters, your favorite topics, what has really resonated with you. That would be really wonderful to hear from you. We have tried to bring together over 100 speakers, presenters, artists, musicians, you name it. And we're trying to cover the gamut of health and wellness and, saving the planet, saving humanity. That's a big ask. That's a big task. But we've devoted ourselves this whole week. I mean, some folks arrived as early as last Saturday, I believe. The summit itself didn't start until Monday, and it goes through Sunday. And if you're still wondering where else you can tune in, just go ahead and go to the Facebook page, EarthStock Facebook page. I know I'm repeating some of this, but that's because people come in and out. So please bear with me. We also have the Regen Media TV Facebook page. We've got the EarthStock YouTube channel, and we've got the Regenerative Media Vimeo channel. So I believe it's been broadcasting to multiple platforms that I don't know all the names of. And we've been broadcasting to, if I recall, it's about 20 different countries. I could be, don't quote me on that because I don't know for sure, but definitely a lot of different platforms. And we are getting the message out in as many ways as we can. Now, as you know, trying to take that on, something so complex, it does require a lot of bandwidth, and there are going to be glitches. And so we ask for your forgiveness and your grace when things don't go according to plan, like now. Right now, I am trying to cover some space. So as soon as I get the go ahead, I think we will start. And we're going to go ahead and bring you on. Okay, our next presenter, I know you don't want to keep listening to me talk. Our next presenter is Arthur Franklin. He's an intuitive inventor, an innovator dedicated to creating healing and well-being tools that synergize nature's elements with technology. As a lecturer and healthcare practitioner, Arthur speaks around the world to educate on light, sound, crystal, and color therapy. His work has revolutionized many industries, including aviation and sports. Arthur is a sought-after consultant for energetic forecasting and patterning, optimizing wellness and success, and today you'll learn about his latest innovation, the crystal blanket. I welcome Arthur.
Thank you so much, Colin. And hello, everyone out in the live streaming world. And very grateful to be here. What I'd like to do is start off with sharing with you all this vibration that we're here in Crestone. The energy is very, very high here. And as you know, when we're meditating and when we're in nature and when we're in a place of coherence, imbalance, and homeostasis, this allows our creativity, our insights, our solutions, what the wisdom keepers that have been here and sharing down in this broadcast globally as well as locally, they help us to bring and find our center in our heart coherence, in their truth through nature and through the stories that they've shared. So I just want to give a shout out to all of the wisdom keepers and the healers and people that are in a grounded place that are choosing love and light and care and coming from a place of our heart coherence. In this next slide, which hopefully maybe we can in the future, we can actually do another transmission and load it up here in the near future. So the first topic is solving big world problems. And what I found in a very unique way was at a very young age, the age of 5, when I entered kindergarten, we had a very unusual teacher, and she said, we're going to study the Platonic solids. And to start off with this, I have 2 brief stories, which the Platonic solids are the building blocks on a subatomic level of everything that we know in this physical universe as it stands now. It has a massive impact, and the more that we bring this energetic field into play, meaning in play, to give you an idea, what I mean by that is, I had an opportunity many, many years ago to give a presentation to 500 school teachers down in the San Diego County area from kindergarten to 12th. And what was fun about that was I shared about the Platonic solids, and those Platonic solids can be printed out in a just in a regular format out of your printer. And we're using colored pencils or colored crayons and playing Mozart or Beethoven. In a matter of a couple of weeks to a few weeks, these children were able to advance 1 grade, multiple children across the board, anywhere from about 2 to 6 weeks. And this is just doing it 5 minutes a day. I've helped, kids autistically in many different realms, kids that are just struggling in a particular subject. So it doesn't matter what subject it is. The geometry within inside of us, I'm sure most of you know, that is the phi ratio of that on your finger, which is the phi ratio of your whole finger, which is the phi ratio of your hand. Your whole body is built on geometry, on mathematics, as well as electrically. And so just to move forward, using simple solutions, as well as technology, I'm sure most of you all know that technology is, the greatest technology is our whole being. This has the most advanced technology that is out there. And so when we can magnify our ability to be in nature and be in yoga and take a walk in nature, and we start to see these fields, meaning the way the world responds to us, the way the world magnifies that reflection to us, has a tremendous ability to bring us back into balance and into coherence. And there's many technologies and heart math. The list is very long in measuring technology that shows us when we get in this coherent field, many things happen, miraculous things happen. On this next slide, I'll just give you a brief background. So I helped develop many different technologies. I helped the team early on with Ampfoil, which is a electromagnetic device using a Doug coil or a modified Doug coil, and you talk into using voice analytics, and in a very short period of time, it shows your imbalance in your blood, your bone, your brain, your organs, and then builds sound programs and transmits it through the coil, through an amplifier from a program into the body, and balances the body using a sound element through the coil technology. I also created another technology 20 years ago that still today is one of the unique self resonant radionics technology that uses no frequencies being transmitted through any device. It's all done by nature's elements: flower essences, gem essences, plant extracts from the rainforest, essential oils, color therapy that has 25 years of Western medical research for healing the body. And then it goes up through these lenses, up into these colored lenses, through phi ratio parts that are punched in the table at the top, where this light and frequency transmits into the body and affects the subtle fields in a very subtle way, but then it's not only measurable. We did some EKG and EEG technology with people, and within 11 minutes, it was within 1 point of homeostasis with the body, just using this type of technology. A little bit of, I guess you could say, history. I don't usually go back in history too far, but what got me started in all of this excitement was this attitude when I was a young kid. When I was 5, I got on my first skateboard, and I went around and told everybody in the neighborhood I was going to become a pro skateboarder. It took about 10 years, and I had a lot of fun, and I created some innovation things in the skateboard industry back in the 70s. And that really propelled me into realizing no matter what you're doing, if you're staying in this childlike homeostasis, in this balanced place, this joyful place, this is what really transmits into finding your own creativity and your own answers, your own beauty that you have, because everyone here, of course, now on this planet has an opportunity to share their gifts. And I'm just one person, but I certainly enjoy doing what I'm doing. And I think that's one of the keys. As we go into this, one of the challenges that we're faced in this world is the electromagnetic bombardment of frequencies, or what we call dirty electricity, and including Bluetooth, 5G, satellites, microwaves, et cetera, et cetera. And this is not to criticize the technology as much as it is, what can we do to provide bringing that back into a homeostasis, back into a place of our natural state of being, right? So moving along, one of the things that we do in this process of these types of nature's elements is we, first of all, before we do anything in our company, is we first honor the sun, the moon, and Pachamama, the earth. This is by far the most important thing that we do with anything, so that we harmonize and balance ourselves in a place of coherence, in a place of direct reflection with our environment. Moving along, I'd just like to read this one little paragraph. It says, at Crystal Blanket, we understand that as we advance our technologies, there is a balance with also advancing our spiritual connection with the earth, her elements, and all her beings that are here on this planet. When all of these are in symbiosis, we can offer products that synergistically weave both nature and technology that leaves one feeling grounded, loved, and empowered. So that is our real goal, is to make sure that that is the primary concern, making sure that that's balanced with any of the technologies we create. As you know, EKGs, EEGs, and other imbalances are measured in all kinds of technology today, and imbalances that are in the biological and in the biofield systems. And so we've done 13 different studies using this technology that we've created, showing a lot of different balances. I'll give you one little snippet that I think is really important to share. We've been involved with agriculture and building and being part of building homes. And in that process, we have taken these 96 crystals that are in our formula that are added into the concrete when people are pouring the foundations. And in that, tree sap was falling on the concrete, literally, that had the crystals in it, and created a perfect phi ratio heart, and which is also the curve or the spiral of nature. Is some of you or more of you know about the golden means spiral. So in the golden means heart, or the golden spiral heart, that shape is two spirals that come together and create this very unique heart-shaped form. In the biofield therapies, as most of you know, Reiki, healing touch, Qigong, pranic healing, colors, and crystals all have a way of affecting the biofield and strengthening that chi of that life force. And going into the crystals and how they work in the biofield is they actually work in the subtle fields. So in that, these platonic solids have a great impact on our emotional state, our physical state, our mental state, all these different states. And so when these crystals they're actually prayed over 6 different times as we crush them, and they're down in under 7 microns inside this fiber that we've created. They work like little lenses inside the fiber. So the fibers in a polyester fiber are 13 microns across. And so these crystals are inside, kind of like a crystallized fiber optic, if you will. And so when they're spun with organic cotton and they're spun with other types of natural fibers, such as linen or wool, which is really a great conductor. And also these crystals actually bring forth a piezoelectric energy from the crystals. And that works like little mirrored lenses that enter into our auric field, into our energy field. As our body is already transmitting light and far infrared out of it, it reflects off of these lenses, and with the crystal energy penetrates into that field, and enormous things happen. We have an increase of 10% in strength. We have 10% in increased circulation and oxygen. We have an increase lactation for mother's milk. We have reduction of jet lag and long car rides, placing this crystal fiber in a blanket form in the field around you or behind you or over you in your sleep. It helps. People have recorded that it helps an hour of REM sleep a night is increased using this blanket. The technology has 96 nano crystals and mineral blends that create this crystallized fiber. And as we spin it, it becomes very soft and luxurious. And it basically is a radionics far infrared blanket or fiber that helps to increase all kinds of different needs. We've put this fiber over wounds and increased the healing properties dramatically, shortening it by 1/3 to 1/2 the amount of healing time, just having that over the bandages. In earth honoring practices, as we make these, the crystal formula, and most of the time, we have several different processes in which we are able to ethically source these crystals. So this is a very important part. We don't want to have in any sort of way any sort of disrespect, whether it's a person, whether it's crystals, whether it's trees, whether it's our nature, our mother. They still all need that reverence. They still all need that respect. And so this is a very important part of our process. We also make sure that that the poly that we're using now is all recycled and goes through a process for detoxification of the poly. And this allows us to be more accessible to our earth. And we even have a new product that we have inside the poly that actually breaks down. So if, for instance, the fabric, the fiber has been damaged or discarded, you can plant it in the earth now, and in less than 2 years, it becomes part of the earth. So there's no toxic load to the fiber, and it allows our ability to be able to really honor the earth. When we've done some Kirlian photography with the technology, placing the blanket over you 5 minutes apart, the auric field and the energetic field is dramatically increased. It has an ability to be able to create coherence and actually lower the stress, the fatigue, and it has a ability to be able to create, like I was sharing with you, a homeostasis. And this technology is it's very, I would say, revolutionary process, because it's not only is it emitting protection of EMFs and these crystalline energies that are impacting the biofield itself, but it's allowing people to feel more at peace. I'll share one brief story with you that I think you'll enjoy. We had one mother that sent a voice message to us saying that she had a baby that was just crying and crying and crying and crying, and she just couldn't get the baby to stop crying. And her husband came in and brought the blanket, and they just swallowed her in the blanket. And within 2 minutes, she was asleep. She just totally relaxed. We had another similar scenario like this, and there's just so many emails that come in. One with someone getting ready to pass. And what was extraordinary with that is the person, once we played the blanket on the person in their bed, they said, "Oh, now I feel very peaceful. Now I can pass." And this is highly unusual in a lot of ways, because the death process, as most of you know, is really impactful on the emotional body and the mental body, and of course the family or the the beings that are assisting that person in transition. I had the great fortune to have a mother that was one of the 4 nurses and 2 doctors that started hospice in this country 43 years ago. And we managed to use some of this technology with some of the hospice patients, and it was quite impactful and really a joyful thing to see how people could calm and relax. The funniest story that I've had in the last month or so was there was a couple that managed to leave the house, and they left their dog, their Jack Russell, and their cat in the house. And they actually called me, and they sent an email, a testimony saying that they were blown away because they came back and the cat and the dog that won't even stay in the same room with one another were literally cuddled up on the couch, on the blanket. And they said they've had the animals 5 years and that's never happened. So I like to preference that by saying that nature itself is, the animals and children especially, they can feel this sensitivity and the energy of this technology. And we've now applied it in agriculture. We've managed to see dramatic results in reduction of water being needed for agriculture. We've seen the plants growing 1.5 feet to 2 feet higher using this technology. And I would love just to share with you that I'm excited about how it's going to be coming out in several different industries. And I would love to, at this time, if there's a moment, we could maybe have some Q&A. This is what one of the blankets looks like. This is a small one, and it's very soft. It's very lightweight, and it can be folded up and put in your backpack, or it can be put in the seat of your car. You can get on an airplane with it. They're easy to ship. They're easy to clean. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, and hopes to, if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Yes.
Yeah, how